and will be televised on the screens. Any guests not already seated at that time will be asked to remain where they are until the procession has concluded. At that time, guests will be allowed to move to their seats. We request that guests remain in their seats during the procession. A video recording will be available for you to share on our YouTube channel. Also, professional photographers will be capturing still shots of your loved ones as they enter and as they exit the stage. During the ceremony, all of our graduates look forward to hearing their name called as they cross the stage, so that we ask that you please limit your celebrations and hold your applause until the end, when our provost will invite you to join him in offering your heartfelt congratulations to all of our graduates. On a related note, while we believe that all of our graduates are important, honor graduates who are receiving bachelor's degrees are recognized with a Latin phrase given after the reading of their name. Those who graduate cum laude, which means with honor, earned a grade point average of between 3.5 and 3.7. Those who graduate magna cum laude, which means with great honor, earned a grade point average of between 3.7 and 3.9. And those who graduate summa cum laude, or with highest honor, earned a grade point average of between 3.9 and 4.0. As a final sound-related request, we ask that you check to see that you have silenced your cell phone. And last, we request when the ceremony ends, you exit the building promptly and proceed outside to continue the celebration with your graduates. So, with those preliminaries out of the way, we invite you to enjoy the spring commencement ceremony for Middle Georgia State University.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good afternoon. I am Dr. David Jenks, the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at Middle Georgia State University. It is an honor to welcome you to campus today. President Blake and I join with MGA faculty and staff, along with parents, relatives, friends, guests, and dignitaries, to celebrate our spring 2022 graduating class. We extend our appreciation to all who have been involved in planning and preparing for today's commencement ceremony. Their efforts have made this day one you will remember for a long time. This ceremony is one of 3 held on campus today, with 2 others having taken place yesterday, with more than 750 students participating in graduation this semester, our largest graduating class to date. Holding 5 events across several days allows graduates to participate in smaller, more intimate ceremonies. In this way, the ceremonies let graduates celebrate their success alongside those graduating with similar degrees, and will keep the ceremonies at a reasonable length. At this time, I would like you to direct your attention to the front row. You'll notice there is an empty chair draped in a black cloth. This cloth has been placed there in remembrance of all the students, staff, and faculty that we have lost this academic year. Please join me in a moment of silence to remember the hard work and dedication they put into their time at MGA. Thank you. Today, we celebrate a commencement, a new beginning. For graduates, that may mean moving away from an area of comfort, leaving the spaces of learning, and possibly parting ways with close friends. This commencement marks the beginning of a new pattern of life, a new schedule, and a new set of responsibilities. However, before our candidates for graduation move on from here, let us all enjoy this commencement ceremony together and celebrate what has been accomplished. Let's take a moment together to recognize just how far our graduation candidates have come while so much in life has changed over the course of their studies. Please hold your applause until all groups are called. If you are a first-generation student, please stand and stay standing if you are able. If you're a non-traditional student, please stand and stay standing. If you're a mother while being a student, please stand and remain standing. If you're a father while being a student, please stand and remain standing. If you are or have been a first responder while being a student, please stand and stay standing. If you're actively deployed, an armed forces veteran, or in a military family, please stand and stay standing. If you had to work while taking courses, please stand and remain standing. If you're proud of the work you've done and are ready to receive your diploma, please stand and remain standing. Ladies and gentlemen, the spring 2022 class at Middle Georgia State University. Please remain standing. Candidates, you've seen a great deal of help getting to this point. This support has come from many people in your life, including your family, your friends, possibly donors of a scholarship, and members of the Middle Georgia State University community. Now let's take time to appreciate those who helped you get here today. Faculty members, please stand and remain standing if you are able. The faculty at Middle Georgia State University have certified that all candidates have completed the requirements for their respective degrees. Their continuous support and dedication to higher education enable us to all be here today. Join me in thanking them with a round of applause. Remain standing. There are a few others who have helped you on your journey. Parents, please stand if you are able. Grandparents, please stand. Siblings, extended family, partners, friends, please stand. If you've helped someone who is graduating here today on their path to a diploma, please know that we appreciate how important your support has been. Candidates, look around, find your people, think about those who couldn't be here today. Join me in another round of applause to honor those who helped you attain your goal of becoming a university graduate. And remain standing. And now, for the singing of our national anthem by Bethany Knowles, a music major in our contemporary musicianship program.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Thank you, Bethany. There's one other very significant group that has supported you and enriched your educational experience. The Middle Georgia State University Foundation strives to improve the lives of people in Middle Georgia by enabling our students, faculty, and staff to achieve extraordinary results. Some of our graduates have benefited from foundation scholarships. Many of you have participated in foundation-sponsored academic programs and activities, and all of you have studied in modern classrooms and labs and a library outfitted in part with foundation-funded equipment and technology. Ms. Mary McDonald, would you please stand? We deeply appreciate your role at Middle Georgia State University as the Vice President for University Advancement and the continued generosity of our foundation. Thank you so much for your leadership. Please join me in a round of applause in appreciation of our MGA Foundation. Thank you. President Blake.
This is a wonderful occasion and a great day. Good afternoon. My name is Chris Blake, and I have the honor of serving as the president of Middle Georgia State University. And today we gather after some difficult years that this class in particular has experienced, and we celebrate your accomplishment. Well done. Very well done. And this class has a speaker who shortly will share with you her perspective on your experience and speak on behalf of you and give expression to your accomplishments that you are celebrating with your loved ones, with our faculty and staff today. Each year, the Student Honors, Awards, and Graduation Committee designates one student from the entire senior class as the President's Scholar. The student chosen must have an outstanding academic record, have been involved in campus and community activities, and must demonstrate the values and characteristics of this university and of a successful future. The individual selected exceeds all the qualities we look for in the President's Scholar. She is a special education teacher intern at Bleckley County Elementary School, and at Middle Georgia, she has consistently demonstrated academic excellence, leadership, and community engagement. She has shown that leadership by working for the National Society for Leadership and Success and serving as our first peer mentor in the teacher education program. She has also presented her research at the Georgia Council of Teachers of Mathematics annual conference and has had her work published in the magazine Inspire, a Middle Georgia journal. In addition to all her professional and academic activities, she is the eldest of 9 siblings and a working mother of 2. No matter the task at hand, she applies the same level of professionalism, enthusiasm, and dedication. She is described by her peers as a true superhero. After graduation, her plans are to start a full-time teaching career in Dodge County, Georgia. And it is my pleasure to introduce Middle Georgia State University's President's Scholar on behalf of the class of 2022, Ms. Rebecca Simone Caldwell. Rebecca.
Welcome to the May 2022 graduation here at Middle Georgia State University. I'm Simone Caldwell, a graduating teacher candidate from the Elementary Special Education Teacher Preparation Program. And I wanted to take this time to share a bit of my story and hopefully make a difference, even if small, for our graduating seniors. When I was in grade school, I struggled. I wasn't first in my class, I wasn't fifth. I believe I was towards the end, barely legible. I was getting by, and I was present most days, some days. I barely graduated, so Maggie Kuhn's quote, "Speak your mind, even if your voice shakes," did not apply to me. And internally, it's really shaking right now. It isn't the fear of speaking, but rather being ashamed of making a mistake or failing. We are often haunted by the possibility of being judged by others, and even worse, judging and condemning ourselves. There is, however, a beauty in making mistakes. There is a force, a power behind not only having a growth mindset to reach higher and to grow, but also to embrace our mistakes, to learn from our mistakes, understand them, and not to repeat them. And I know my parents are watching, and I bet they're wishing I knew this in adolescence. I should have listened. We are our worst critics. We have conditioned ourselves to feel shame and to shy away from speaking up for fear of being wrong. We must continuously seek to alter this mindset to reach our utmost potential. When I learned to no longer ignore, but to accept my mistakes, I found myself launching forward in life. I was told in high school by a peer tutor that I was stupid, and I was told by others I was a social butterfly. I could not iterate enough how important my Lisa Frank pencils were, and I know that dates me a little bit. I was not held to a higher standard because that's just who Simone was. While it was meant to offer acceptance, it taught me that I should not apply myself because it would make no difference. I watched my siblings receive acceptance in advanced student programs within public schools while I was lucky to remember I had homework. And if it was math, I complained there was no reason to know it. I don't think that now, Dr. Emerson. I was too embarrassed to admit my shortcomings and ask for help. When my determination, resilience, and grit began to increase internally here at MGA, a shift began to occur in my life. My scores in my classes were finally higher than Georgia Bulldogs football player Marius Mims' jersey number, which is 65 for our non-football fans. I was forming a foundation of knowledge that increased to a conceptual understanding. I was completing honors projects such as being a guest speaker at conferences and presenting to parents informational resources, working closely with the peer mentors and tutoring. And currently, I'm working on an Against Bullying project motivated by the novel Wonder by R.J. Palacio that was read in our literacy class. This project will include teaching, data, research, and information to identify and assist students that are being bullied. We'll also incorporate procedures for safe interventions for those that are bullying others. Students will partake with active roles, creating a video presentation to speak up and speak out against bullying. In the future, I'll be researching to practice grant writing to write a proposal to support diverse literacy in the public education system within rural areas. And I'm completing these projects while working as a special education teacher, being a mother of my 2 wonderful children, and making plans to attend graduate school. I share my past, present, and future to remind us all, and even myself, that as we leave MGA to pursue careers, graduate school, and watch our dreams unfold, remember that we are always learning. Admit your mistakes and move forward. Watch your abilities and self-efficacy continuously grow. Remember your personal philosophies and embrace yourselves. Forgive yourselves and lean into the relationships and bonds of those in your personal life, as well as those created here at MGA. Find your support system. You are more than capable of greatness and to be leaders in your fields. Remain steadfast and always seek it out. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our Spring 2022 Commencement speaker, Dr. Curtis Jones, Jr., who joined the Bibb County School District in April 2015, is dedicated to developing students to become scholars, leaders, and good citizens. Before his educational career, Jones served in the United States Army. Thank you for your service. He retired as a lieutenant colonel, and he is a graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point. He later earned a doctorate degree in educational leadership from Nova Southeastern University. As a superintendent of Bibb County Schools, he has worked to ensure the district's instructional practices meet the needs of students and prepares them to be college and/or career ready. When he joined the district, Jones set one of his first long-term goals, which was to raise the district's graduation rate to 90% by 2025. The district has made great gains in improving its graduation rate, which was 58.9% in 2014 and increased to 80.67% in 2021. That's very impressive. The Georgia School Superintendents Association, the GSSA, named him Georgia's Superintendent of the Year in 2019. And 2 months later, the AASA, the School Superintendents Association, named him the National Superintendent of the Year. Absolutely. Jones, who will retire at the end of the current school year, used his classroom and administrative experiences to develop a strategic plan for the Bibb District titled Victory in Our Schools. The plan's 5 goals included increasing student achievement, increasing student and stakeholder engagement, increasing teacher and leader effectiveness, being a reliable organization, and learning and growth. Please welcome our commencement speaker, Dr. Curtis Jones, Jr.
President Blake, Provost Jenks, faculty and staff, parents and friends of the graduating class, and to the class of 2022. Good afternoon. Oh, you can do better than that. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That's the way you're supposed to do it. That's what we're talking about. It is my pleasure to be here with you this afternoon and to help you recognize this outstanding achievement that you have before you today. It's my hope that you will remember this for the rest of your lives, because not everybody's going to get to the point where you are today. But here's something I also know, that you really didn't come here to hear me talk. You came here to get your piece of paper, to move on, and to go. And I'm going to let you do that, but before I do, I just have a few things I want to share with you. Because you see, I really do believe the reason I was asked to share some thoughts with you is because I was named the National Superintendent of the Year. And as I think about that experience, the question that I ask myself is, what can I tell you that may help you as you move on your journey? And so there are a couple of things. One, in order to be a National Superintendent of the Year, you got to be lucky. I mean, truthfully, There are more than 180 superintendents in Georgia, and you have to be the Georgia Superintendent of the Year. But then after you get named Georgia Superintendent of the Year, you then have to go against 49 other state superintendents of the year to be selected. So now you're talking about tens of thousands of superintendents, and only one is going to be the national. And so you got to be lucky. It made me think back to when I was a senior in high school. In August of that year, I was on the football team, and my coach was a guy named Max Dowers. And Coach Dowers gathered us into our locker room and said to us, I have never said this to one of my football teams before, but you're a darn good football team. You're going to win a lot of games. You are. In fact, you're not the most talented team I've seen, but you're the best team I've ever coached. But if you want to win a championship, you're going to have to be lucky. Do you want to be lucky? And I remember thinking, I'm not sure I want to be lucky to win. I want to win because we're the best. I want to win because we deserve it. I want to win because we can just go out there and kick that other team's behind. And then Coach Dowers turned to a blackboard, picked up a piece of chalk, and wrote on it, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. It's the first time I'd ever heard that. I remember it today. He then looked back at us and said those words. He said, luck, and he underlined it, is what happens when preparation, 2 underscores, meets opportunity, 3 underscores. He said, every day when you go on the football field for practice, that is when you are preparing. You will prepare on the practice field every day. And there will be 10 times this season when you play a football game when you will have the opportunity to be lucky. And people in the stands will say, you made an outstanding catch, an outstanding run. You made a great play. They're going to say you had to be lucky for that to occur. But the truth of the matter is, you will know, and I will know, it's because of the preparation that you had. If you want to win a championship, you're going to have to be lucky. You got to prepare. Do you want to be lucky? Yes, sir. Do you want to be lucky? Yes, sir. Do you want to be lucky? Yes, sir. And then we went on the practice field, and he said, let's go get lucky. We won the championship, and we went on to become one of the top 10 teams in the state. But the lesson I learned from that I want you to take from this, is you got to go be lucky. You need to prepare for those opportunities when they come. You won't know when they will be there. You don't know what's going to happen, but you need to be prepared. So lesson 1, get lucky. Graduating class, say get lucky. After I graduated from high school, I went to West Point. And at West Point, they had this thing where they wanted you to go through certain training. The idea is that the mission of the United States Military Academy is to instruct and train the Corps of Cadets so that each graduate will possess those qualities and attributes essential for a successful career in the United States Army. We had an honor code. A cadet would not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. We had a system where you came in as a freshman and they made you go through a whole bunch of things. It was a whole year of hazing to get you ready to be a West Pointer. And after 4 years at West Point, I joined the Army. Did 20 years in the Army. And in the Army, I recognized it was almost the same thing. They had this idea that they wanted you to have values. The values spelled out an acronym: leadership, loyalty, duty, respect, honor, integrity, and personal courage. And I'll be honest, when I came home after time at West Point, and when I came home on leave from the Army, my mom and dad would say, Curtis, you've changed. I think you've been drinking the Kool-Aid. And they were right. I was drinking the Kool-Aid because I believed in what West Point was selling. I believed in what the Army was selling. I believed that if you worked hard and did your very best, you would get promoted. That's what it was about. And so, graduates, the second point that I would leave for you is that when you find the place where you want to work, make sure it's a place that you can put everything into, that you can be committed to, and drink their Kool-Aid. Say, drink the Kool-Aid. After 20 years in the Army, I retired. came into public education. Was in Griffin Spalding for 18 years, and then I came to Bibb for another 7. And when I got here, I realized there was something that happened as I was drinking that Kool-Aid and learning what to do. And what I learned is that with the more responsibility that I got, the more it was up to me to help the people who were following me to understand our mission, our vision, our values, our goals. It was up to me to help people develop and grow and get better. I no longer could just drink the Kool-Aid, but I had to start making the Kool-Aid. That people understood what it is we were trying to do, the vision that we had, that we wanted to put in place. And so as I came up, it was like, it's not just enough to drink it. You now have to start making it. And so as you have the opportunity to lead teams, to be in charge of a project, to have your own business, you're going to find that you just can't buy into what your company's doing anymore. You're going to have to be the leader that steps up and makes it happen. You're going to have to learn to make the Kool-Aid. Say, make the Kool-Aid. You're going to have to be lucky. You're going to have to drink the Kool-Aid. You're going to have to learn to make the Kool-Aid. The last thing I'll share with you is that after I decided that I would let my system put me in for Superintendent of the Year, and it was determined that I was one of the finalists, the people around here went crazy. I'm going to be quite honest with you. The TV station said, we want to come to your house and interview your mom. We want to interview your wife. We want to see what you're like when you're not at work. We want to see Curtis Jones, not Dr. Jones. And I said, okay, it's not that exciting, but come on. So they came and they observed and they did a video. And then they said, when they announce who the National Superintendent of the Year is, we're going to put it on TV live. I said, oh, no, you're not. I mean, because if I don't get it, I don't want the whole world to know I didn't get it. They said, well, I hate to tell you this, but it's not about you. My secretary and my clerk came to me and said, Dr. Jones, we're now ready to get the tickets to go to California. What do you mean tickets? They said, well, we're going too. I said, no, you're not. We're not going to take a bunch of people from Georgia to California to see if this happens or not. It's a long shot. They said, yes, we're going. I said, no, you're not. I had 2 board members that came to me and said, Curtis, we're going to go too. I said, no, you're not. And they circled me and they said, I hate to tell you this, but this is not about you. This is about what we have accomplished over the last 6 years. It's about Middle Georgia. It's about Bibb County, and we're going. Now, if you want to go, we'll get you a ticket. Otherwise, you can stay here. So I let them get me a ticket, and we went out, and we were recognized as National Superintendent of the Year. But the last message I want to leave you with is that once you get into your job and once you're doing things, you have to recognize that it's not about you. It's about the work that you're doing, how you're trying to make the world a better place, the relationships that you develop, and how it moves forward. So for one last time, class, say it's not about you.
Not about you.
It's about getting lucky. It's about making Kool-Aid. It's about drinking the Kool-Aid, and it's not about you. If you remember those 4 things, you're going to do well. And I'm going to be honest with you. I need you to do well. Here's why. When I was graduating from college, I was a social studies major. I studied international affairs. At that time, I was worried about war. I was worried about drugs. I was worried about abortion. I was worried about race relations. And as I look at you today, I'm worried about the war in Ukraine. I'm worried about the Supreme Court and what's going to happen with abortion. I'm worried about race relations. I'm worried about the election of 2020 and if it was stolen or not. I'll be honest with you. My generations and those that followed us got us into this mess. And it's going to take you, your generation, and those who follow you to get us out of it. It's going to take new thinking. So I, for one, am very happy to see the class of 2022 graduate because we need you. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm absolutely certain it is not about me. Thank you so much, Dr. Jones. That was wonderful. On behalf of the Middle Georgia State University faculty, it is my honor to congratulate the spring 2022 graduates on this special occasion. Commencement is a time of recognition of your academic accomplishments, so we join your family and friends in celebrating your success. Are you all ready to walk across the stage? Now, assisting me with the presentation of degree candidates, our President Blake, the academic deans, our interim registrar, Mr. Jed Edge, and Associate Provost, Dr. Michael Gibbons.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Gibbons, and I'm an Associate Provost here at Middle Georgia State University. It's my pleasure to call forth each of the graduates participating in today's ceremony. Candidates for degrees in the Master of Arts in Teaching, please come forward by row when directed by staff marshals to receive congratulations from Interim Dean Clayton, Dean Beek, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. Emily Durando Bailey, Master of Art in Teaching. Chastity Carter, Master of Art in Teaching. Alexis M. Crosby, Master of Art in Teaching. Ayan M. Hassan, Master of Art in Teaching. Daniel Scott Myers, Master of Art in Teaching. Anna Nicole Sanders, Master of Arts in Teaching. Elizabeth Smith, Master of Arts in Teaching. Candidates for undergraduate degrees in the School of Education and Behavioral Sciences, please come forward by row when directed by staff marshals to receive congratulations from Dean Beek, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. Ashley Faye Bacchus, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Education. Morgan Bray Kaskin, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Hope Marie Daniels, BS in Education. Mackenzie A. Dean, BS in Education. Rebecca Simone Caldwell, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Education. Gina A. Dover, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Shayna N. Floyd, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Education. Natalie K. Guerin, BS in Education. Anna M. Glover, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Jacqueline Denise Hicks, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Brianna Nicole Kite, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Katie Ann Lavender Lane, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Education. Hannah Nicole Lawson, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Carly Elizabeth Logue, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Michaela Grace McConnell, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Education. Scarlett Lee McCurry, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Megan J. Mercier, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Caitlin Morgan Mills, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Andrea Louise Mallet, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Sierra Estrella Olson, BS in Education. Tatiana Renee Owens, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Abigail Yon Perdue, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Cassandra Jackson Rogers, BS in Education. Ashton L. Rowland, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Allison Grace Singletary, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Education. Candace S. Smith, BS in Education. Lori P. Smith, BS in Education. Taylor Lanier Smith, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Savannah C. Sprague, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Jordan Walker Steffen, BS in Education. Kenley D. Taylor, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Education. Briasha D. Toomer, BS in Education. Alexis Marie Turner, BS in Education. Brittany Nicole Walker, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Education. Mackenzie Elizabeth Walker, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Education. Jennifer Michelle Webb, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Education. Tanea S. Wicker, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Destiny Takiria Williams, BS in Education. Katrina Joan Young, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Education. Santino Romeo, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Interdisciplinary Study. Jasmine M. Wooten, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Interdisciplinary Studies. Artisha Antoinette Wright, BS in Interdisciplinary Studies. Jasmine Michelle Popoy, BS in Public Service. Abby L. Andrews, Bachelor of Social Work. Elizabeth Marie Bentley, Bachelor of Social Work. Levita Altanise Clowers, Bachelor of Social Work. Matred Mutatha Conaway, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Social Work. Faith Kayanne Dene, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Social Work. Tatiana Hart, Bachelor of Social Work. Brianna J. Hughes, Bachelor of Social Work. Tiara L. Jackson, Bachelor of Social Work. Deasia Jones, Bachelor of Social Work. Ariel Lee, Bachelor of Social Work. Tanya Crystal Luby, Bachelor of Social Work. Tia Nicarla McLaughlin, Bachelor of Social Work. Sheila Risby McClellan, Bachelor of Social Work. Miranda Page Pearson, Bachelor of Social Work. Jean Marie Schremschock, Bachelor of Social Work. Mindy Lynn Smith, Bachelor of Social Work. Lindsay Gail Thompson, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, Bachelor of Social Work. Ayada A. Walker, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Bachelor of Social Work. Jocelyn D. Walker, Bachelor of Social Work. Keely M. Walker, Bachelor of Social Work. Michaela Renee Womack, Bachelor of Social Work. Candidates for degrees in the Master of Science in Information Technology, please come forward by row when directed by staff marshals to receive congratulations from Interim Dean Clayton, Dean Kuhang, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. Joseph Edwin Kennedy, Master of Science in Information Technology. Corey Collins, Master of Science in Information Technology. Alvin Angelo Gay, Master of Science in Information Technology. Zachary Gray, Master of Science in Information Technology. Thank you. Victor King, Master of Science in Information Technology. Rachel Leanne Brown Lawrence, Master of Science in Information Technology. Indra Kumar Mondal, Master of Science in Information Technology. Eric Phillips, Master of Science in Information Technology. Nebu Tarasa, Master of Science in Information Technology. Pamela Vantine, Master of Science in Information Technology. John C. Williams, Master of Science in Information Technology. Donald Alexander Young, Master of Science in Information Technology. Candidates for undergraduate degrees in the School of Computing, please come forward by row when directed by staff marshals to receive congratulations from Dean Kuhang, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. Haiti Acosta Cheveria, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Information Technology. Anthony Eugene Allgood, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Information Technology. Ryan Ashford, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Information Technology. William Thomas Drew, BS in Information Technology. Victor Blade Fordham, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Information Technology. Kennedy Jones, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Information Technology. Emily C. Krauskopf, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Information Technology. Xiongwan Li, BS in Information Technology. Nazir D. Martin, BS in Information Technology. Takara Mosley, BS in Information Technology. Kira Ainsley Neal, BS in Information Technology. Michael Oleyenka Owo, BS in Information Technology. Paul Andre Pasado Leon, BS in Information Technology. Mayuresh Patel, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, BS in Information Technology. Michelle Quimno, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Information Technology. George W. Birch, BS in Information Technology. Joshua Tanner Lamberth, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Information Technology. Sarah Hope Lansing, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Information Technology. Susan Leanne Leverett, BS in Information Technology. Patricia Elizabeth Lowry, BS in Information Technology. Kenya Owens, BS in Information Technology. Stephen Wade Queen, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Information Technology. Cassidy Ruffin, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, BS in Information Technology. Patricia Lynn Starkey, BS in Information Technology.
This is one of my favorite parts. President Blake, on behalf of the faculty, I proudly present these candidates who have now satisfied all requirements for graduation and ask that you confer their degrees upon them.
I couldn't be happier conferring your degrees on you because you have deserved them and earned them. And I do want to just go off script for a moment and say to Dr. Curtis Jones, your message of inspiration and hope, sir, is one that we shall remember for the rest of our lives. And as this gentleman has made such a huge difference in the life of the nation and the state and Macon Bibb, let us give him another round of applause. We really will get to the formal conferring of degrees, I do promise you. But I will tell you a story. Yesterday we had our wonderful nursing graduates, and one of them reminded me that with all this hand-holding, hugging, touching, shaking hands, a few of those we've just done that before we put things in our mouth, we should sing happy birthday twice with warm water and soap and wash our hands carefully before we eat anything out there. So there. And now, the formal part, the official part of commencement. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the university system, I, Christopher Blake, hereby confer upon each of you the degree or certificate you have so diligently pursued with all of the rights and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Class of 2022, congratulations! Now, graduates, first of all, these wonderfully dressed and excitingly attired individuals coming down are alumni. They once were sitting in your chairs and they have come back to greet you. Let's give a round of applause to our alumni. And the reason that they are here with you, graduates, if you have earned an additional right, signifying your passing from a candidate for graduation to that now of a graduate, you will engage momentarily in a Middle Georgia tradition. In a few moments, I will ask the alumni to move the tassels on your hat, which should be on the right side. You know the difference between right and left? You're good at that. Should be on the right, still at this point. And they will, with the first row, they will move your tassel to the left because that means forevermore. You have earned the right to wear that on this side as a graduate. And then the first row is going to turn around and do that to the second row, and the second row, turn around, and so on. Graduates, rise, please. Counting down our alumni, 3, 2, 1, please start. Class of 2022, you have just conferred on each other that accolade. Congratulations to you. Please be seated. Please be seated. As your president, I get to give the final lecture, but it is very short. It's a final few words. Our faculty and our staff who are here today are here because they have believed in you. To our outstanding faculty and our amazing staff, every single day you remind me of why you are the finest professionals in my career I have worked with. I honor and thank you for the service you have given to this graduating class. And to everyone, family members and friends in the audience, I understand the commitment, the energy, and the emotion you have put into your student being here. I say that as a father of 2 students who have graduated college. So I know what it feels like, the pride, but also the effort and time and finances you have put in. So I applaud and thank you. So people have seen the very best in you. Some of you are coming back to Middle Georgia for graduate studies, and we look forward to that. Others of you are now going out, like Simone, into the community to teach and to do other wonderful career building and professional activities. But wherever you go, you will always be our alumni. This is a special and an enduring relationship. We will always take pride in your accomplishment and success, and we hope that we have earned your pride in Middle Georgia State. I do have one very important request of you, and that is, as educated individuals, it is our collective responsibility to not only use our knowledge to empower ourselves, but to help our loved ones, our families, and our communities to grow. Your degrees are granted to you to empower each of you, but also to serve and to empower the common good. That is what we do as Knights. Throughout this ceremony, we have been talking about transitions, yours at a pivotal time in your lives, and that of this university as another graduating class moves out into the world. It is my pleasure to introduce to you now our alma mater, which we created when we became a university in 2015. That alma mater speaks to that service that we hope you will give in the future of your lives. Will you please direct your attention to the video screens and enjoy a performance of our alma mater by the MGA Chamber Singers under the direction of Dr. Rebecca Lanning, and you can read the words of the alma mater, Knights of Truth and Honor, on your program.
Through the rolling hills of Georgia, in the heart of the great Peach State, we build our future-shaping lives. The quest is ours to take, with boundless possibilities and the lessons of the past. We sons and daughters of MGA, our friendships ever last. We knights of truth and honor, with knowledge as our sword, we raise our voices loud and clear, our hearts at MGA.
And we are the knights, and the line in there I want you to remember, we knights of truth and honor with knowledge as our sword. Go and be truthful and honorable in your lives and your communities the rest of your days. We are proud of you, and we hope that you will stay friends and alumni in contact with us for the rest of your time. I extend my best wishes as you prepare to enter this next phase. We are grateful that you chose Middle Georgia State. There are many wonderful institutions of higher learning around the state and around the nation, but you chose us, and we will honor that and be proud of you forevermore. We hope you will be goodwill ambassadors for our institution. I do have some housekeeping. I would ask that family and friends stay seated and remain in your seat until the last graduate has left the floor. I would ask the graduates to allow the platform party to process. And with that, graduates, faculty, staff, family, and friends, I hereby declare these commencement exercises for the class of 2022 officially finished. Thank you and Godspeed.